Okay, we showed you this before we went to break. Now it's happening. Whoopi Goldberg causing problems for a bakery, and now a Staten Island bureau president is speaking. Let's watch.
And I think the bottom line here is after we're going to call up Jill, who has had to endure something that she shouldn't have to endure. These people are up at 3 or 4 o'clock every morning. The sacrifices they've made, the holidays they've missed with their families. To make Staten Island better, they have sacrificed for 145 years. Rutherford B. Hayes was the President of the United States, for God's sakes. And they're still here, and they're still strong, and they're not going anywhere, despite what other people on television have to say. And frankly, the people who defamed the Holtermann family should apologize to the Holtermann family for making stuff up to suit their needs. Not everybody wakes up every day and thinks about politics. A good business person doesn't care about anybody's politics. So with that, I'd like to call up Jill Holtermann Bowers. She deserves our 110% support. Jill, come on.
It's a community that I have to tell you, I'm so overwhelmed by the support between finding out yesterday this even happened, getting phone calls, and then people coming in, people from all over just supporting us in every way. We had phone calls yesterday from Alabama. Guy says, I'm going to give you $50, send it to a school, send them donuts, send them cupcakes. The support has been so overwhelming, and I know how hard my family has worked to keep this business alive, and I wish my father was here today to see this. He would never believe it. My bakers come in 2 or 3 in the morning just to have donuts and rolls for everybody to come in and say, we have the best rolls ever. And you know what? It took my whole family. It takes everybody, the community that comes every day to see us. We have this everyday conversation with everybody. How's the family? How's this? This is what makes Holtermann's Holtermann's. It's the community, it's my fellow everything that come out, and us giving back to the community that makes this go round. And if it wasn't for you and Staten Island to make this work, we still wouldn't be here today. So I know my brother, Billy, work hard. Joe, my baker in the back, is here 6 days a week. He gives his heart and soul to this place. And you know what? My father always said, you do what you love. I'm telling you, this is my heart. And I thank you so much for everybody to come out and support us with the Holtermann family. It means the world to me. It really does. Thank you so much. Oh, I wish my father was here today.
Oh, good. So good. The goodness prevails. And just a little background for those who know, they had a boiler here. Again, it's been here 145 years. They had a boiler that was 60 or 70 years old. And the first week in November, guess what? It went on the fritz. They had to be replaced. And the reputation of Holtermann's is impeccable, so rather than commit to something they couldn't guarantee, they said we can't do it. And the person who besmirched and defamed them took that as an insult to her. Well, get over it. This family will be here for, God willing, another 145 years. And as Jill said, it's her family, it's the Staten Island community, it's the elected officials. And I hope if you're watching this across the country, go online and order something, and we'll mail it to you. So keep coming to Holtermann's. I'd like to call up State Senator Jessica Scarcella-Spanton.
Thank you so much for putting this together, to our wonderful borough president, Vito Fasella, and to the Holtermann family. Jill, give her a big round of applause. I think one thing all of the elected officials have in common is that Holtermann's has been around our entire lives. My parents' entire lives, my grandparents' entire lives, probably our great-grandparents' entire lives. This is a staple in the Staten Island community, and one message is clear. You do not mess with Staten Island. That's right.
Amen.
We come together as a borough like no other, so just understand, Staten Islanders are going to shop at Holtermann's. This is an amazing, amazing family establishment. I encourage everybody to get their Thanksgiving pastries here, everything else. Thank you so much for putting this together, and thank you to the Holtermann family for giving us a historic, beautiful business for 146 years I just turned. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I'm getting old, 146. Councilman David Carr. David.
Thank you so much, Borough President. You know, Vito always stands up for Staten Island, and today Staten Island needs to be stood up for. And we're here today to have Holtermann Bakeries back, because the Holtermann family generationally has had the backs of this community. Like so many other small business owners, they give back to the community that they call home. They give back to the community that patronizes them. And I'm so glad that we see all the cars here, all the people coming in and out of the store today to send a message to the person who decided that she was too important for a boiler breakdown, that she had to have her pastries, and if it wasn't coming to her, it must have been someone else's fault. It must have been a directed insult to her. That would never be the case. Staten Islanders don't serve people based on their political opinions. They serve everyone who comes through their doors. And that is the case with the Holtermanns family. And in case you can't tell, I love a good bakery. And this is one of the best in the world, bar none. My family has been shopping here since I was a little kid. When my mom had to buy that thing on that snack on the counter that was there for company, it wasn't Entenmann's, it was Holtermann's that she bought. And I look forward to seeing the Holtermann's pastries and other products all throughout the borough for years to come. So God bless you, Jill, and God bless you, your family.
Well, they showed up, right? And who got the party started? Well, that was the borough president, Vito Fasella in Staten Island, and he said these words: "This is the American story." Wow. So what did Whoopi Goldberg try to do to this woman in her bakery? Watch.
The place that made these refused to make them for me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What? Oh.
No. Let me explain. They said that their ovens had gone down, all kinds of stuff, but folks went and got them anyway, which is why I'm not telling you who made them. But can't be because I'm a woman, but perhaps they did not like my politics.
Yeah.
Okay, the boiler was broken. I mean, you could hear the New York City councilman there. They brought everybody to those microphones.
Not political, is what they're saying. This is just pure evil by Whoopi Goldberg trying to destroy a family business that's been in business for as long as they just said, just because it couldn't be that she might actually not get a cupcake on her birthday. And because she's such a lunatic, she thinks anything that doesn't go her way is some conspiracy theory against her and that everybody hates her. This is the intolerance of the left. Like, I have no idea how these people voted, but I'm going to guess that some of the people that just spoke are probably Democrats. And thank goodness that they came out, and thank goodness that they said, you don't do this to our bakery. You don't do this to a family business. I hope there's a lawsuit here. I hope Whoopi Goldberg has to pay a huge, huge birthday check to this bakery. They deserve it.
I think ABC's on the hook here.
I hope they pay
really
too
do.
then.
Because what we were just talking about, they don't mention Holtermann's Bakery, but when you look up, by the way, everybody's Googling this so much now that you just put in 3 letters and it's the first
there.
thing that comes up. But when you go, you see they're iconic, those cupcakes.
Yes.
So they're in like every shot of what's being said while Whoopi's, tearing this woman down and accusing her of being politically discriminatory. So my question is, how much on the hook is ABC News? How much on the hook is Whoopi? Somebody is, because according to the law, how does it work?
Yeah, when you look at libel, slander, or defamation, you can't just not say the bakery's name and say, okay, I'm off the hook. I didn't slander or libel anyone here because I didn't say the name of the bakery. If there's a fact that you disclose that could lead someone to infer what you are talking about, you can still be on the hook. And to your point, that infamous, or not infamous, I should say famous, white box with the pink polka dots allowed people to very easily find that this was Holtermann's Bakery.
It's so famous it was good enough for The View.
Yes, she chose to unleash, Whoopi Goldberg, to unleash the attack dogs based on what evidence? What evidence led her to believe this was about politics? I've heard none, but thank God this bakery is fighting back.
Well, it's about politics now, because as you said, some of those New York representatives could very well be Democrats as well.
Yeah, but Staten Island is, it's pretty conservative. They're in rare territory in terms of the 5 boroughs of New York City. Great people there. They obviously are very passionate about their environment and their community. And, what is Whoopi Goldberg doing, calling me like, this is Whoopi Goldberg, and I need something custom made for me and my Whoopi Goldbergness
For
now. And they might have had those pre-made. So before the boiler broke down, someone, may have made all of those lovely confections, which someone was able to fetch and take to Whoopi on set because, God knows, it looks like she's missed a lot of cupcakes lately.
Man, we just get deeper and deeper. So what is the truth of all of this?
What I think the truth is that Whoopi Goldberg is an incredibly self-indulgent person who thinks everything is about her. So she thinks and takes it personally because that's how highly she thinks of herself, and she thinks everyone else regards her in that way, that they would care what her politics are, that they would go to such lengths that they wouldn't make her a cupcake. I'll tell you what this also is, in my opinion, is it's projection and it's deflection. This is what the left does. I've had numerous instances in California and in other liberal places where people didn't want to serve me, or where I got, bad looks, or I felt obviously uncomfortable being in a place because of who I am and what I believe in. I would never call these places out on air. I would never try to disparage them or hurt their business. But I think that she's used to that because she's on the left, and maybe she would do that to somebody. So she automatically assumes that was done to her, but it quite clearly wasn't.
It's real quickly, because you and I had, I think, seen some of the same reporting on this, that The View might be struggling right now with its view.
Yeah.
and maybe they really ought to be more sensitive to the fact that everybody's a part of this country.
The View has one view. They all voted for Kamala Harris. So how about that? You got The View, and it's only one view, and 76 million Americans don't have a voice. So there you have it.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.